talking about that. Keep track of the things that you're doing. This makes it very easy. So in addition to traditional safety, where we just say we're either in compliance or we're not, this gives us a chance to see where our weaknesses and strengths are and what we're going to do about it. Okay, so besides talking to them, when they posted this every week, what do you think that does? What do you think that does? If I was to take something, you do a process like this and you post that on the bulletin board or employee board or safety board every week, what do you think happens? Things will improve, because now not only do they know how they did, I was wearing my safety glasses but I wasn't wearing my safety shoes, now they can see how everybody else is doing and they know what their goals are, what they're going to do. Now eventually we made this company, we had it so that it was 95% on everything. That was our goal, the minimum of 95. But to start off with, they didn't go 95. They wanted to show progress. So now you can celebrate progress. Hey guys, we used to be 86% safe wearing our safety glasses, now we're 92% safe. Everybody gets candy bar, everybody gets a t-shirt, whatever, if you want to recognize people, but you're recognizing not for results, but for behaviors. That reinforces it even more, right? Here's a little bit more. This is a lot more detailed checklist. But you can see there's exact behaviors. They listed everything in the positive. You will wear your safety glasses when this here, I can't remember what this one here is. Objects are kept in power zone. Okay, power zone's where? Anybody know what a power zone is? By dynamics and ergonomics. Power zone is basically from about your armpits to about your mid-thigh, close to you. Okay? So if I was to hold something like this, how long could I hold it here? Yeah, I'm not real strong. I can hold there a long time. How long can I hold it out here? I don't care how much it weighs, pretty quick, it's gonna be a problem. So our power zone is in. So again, do people handling things either within their power zone or not? And did I give them feedback? If I gave them feedback, did I give them appreciative feedback? Or did I give them constructive and coaching feedback? Hey, I noticed you weren't doing this. Is there a reason why? What's going on? What do we need to do to fix that? And that helped them solve not only their behavior problems, but by knowing why they weren't doing this that way, because this rail is here in the way and I can't get to that, we were able to make a lot of traditional safety improvements to help things work. Okay? So it makes a big difference on how you work business. So here we go. Getting to the end. Yay for you. I'm sure you're tired of listening to me, right? I'm tired of listening to me too. But basically, here's what it is. Traditional safety is a systematic, data-driven approach where we take and we look at what they did, exact behaviors, we tally them, either safe or at risk, and then we focus on reinforcing the positive. We still need to coach the at-risk, but we focus on the positive, okay? And we do that, and pretty quick, when we were, for this process here, as well as this process, after we got the management doing these, then pretty quick we got employees doing this, employees. Okay, Joe, it's your turn this week. Why don't you walk around and you see what you see. Okay, take 10 minutes, and I'll cover your task while you're doing that for 10 minutes. And so now you have employees, and that's how you get everybody involved, not only from the monitoring standpoint, but being monitored standpoint. And it's not a negative. It's not, oh, I got you. Ooh, I caught you doing that wrong. Yeah, you're going to get it now, buddy. No, this is hey, I noticed that wasn't going right, but I like you. And you're on our softball team, man. You play left field. We need you out there. You need to use that ladder. Don't stack that table and chairs up here to do that stuff. You know, you get employees, and then employees talk pretty direct with employees. And so when they say something, it makes a difference. So that's what the behavior-based safety process really does. It is not a replacement for traditional safety. It's not a quick fix. It's not a substitute or for you to be the safety cop. It is a chance for you to monitor and look at behaviors. Behaviors you've identified that are an issue in your operation or that cause the risks, and get them fixed. So there's me, the safety geek. Okay, any questions? John, you had a question. We talked a little bit of break.
Yeah, when you talked about the consequence strength factors, and you talked about it needed to be quick, and it needed to be something that's valuable to them, those sorts of things. What I see sometimes is that we put so much process into providing the consequence that it certainly is less proximate. Take for example, if the employee gets involved in an accident in the car. A lot of counties have these processes where before there's any consequence to them being in that auto accident, it has to go through an investigative process. It needs to go before committees to determine if they could have avoided that accident and stuff. So it's days, weeks, months after the accident before the employee really has any consequence at all. And I just wanted to ask you about that issue of putting those processes in place that make those strength factors less strong.
That's an excellent question. So, we have the same issues with our court system, right? You get arrested, okay, or something happens, and then you've got a jail thing, and they try and minimize that time. Sometimes it's drag out a long time, and the consequences may or may not be what you'd like it to be. One of the things you can do is take a look at your processes, if you can, and minimize them. I have a lot of companies that I work with. One of them who does a lot of driving things. You get in a crash, you're on the phone right now, and before you go anywhere or do anything, you have a supervisor something right on the scene. And within 1 day now, then 1 day, 2 days max, they've got that resolved and they know what the issues are. So it's a matter of streamlining that sometimes. You can't control that all the time, but here's what you can do. One of the things that happens that makes a difference is you can publicize the results, publicize the consequences. Okay? So even if it takes 3 weeks before Doug Handy doesn't get a drive for 2 weeks or suspended for 3 days or whatever the thing, even if it takes 3 or 4 weeks, by publicizing that, it's just like publicizing our results here. It gets out there, the word gets out, people know what the consequences are. The other thing we've got to do about that, and which is really key about that, is the other part we talked about being consistent. What's the probability of things happening? So we want to be consistent. So as you have that process, even if it takes a little bit of time, it's not the proximal part of it's not there, but the results are there. Make sure we get those publicized. But there's a lot of things we can do to minimize what happens there and how we want to manage that. And sometimes there are barriers that, time, distance, manpower availability, all kinds of things that may affect or how proximal we can get things done. But we need to make sure we expedite that when we can and just be consistent. What are our guidelines? What are the rules? That's what affects people's behavior, right? Probability of you getting hurt, you're getting caught, you're getting whatever else. It makes a big difference. And when that does happen, what does that mean to you? So make sure if you do have those issues that are lagging, make sure that they're at least publicized. Does that mean everybody agrees with this? I mean, everybody agrees with the Doug Handy get 3-day suspension. No, there are probably 10 people say, I wish they should just fire Doug. Like I said, everybody does that. They shouldn't have done anything to Doug. He should have just given his keys back and let him go, right? So not everybody's going to agree with it, but publicize what you do and let the consequences stand as they are. I think that makes a big difference. Okay? A couple of handouts I have for you. Left on your desk. There's one here that talks about recognition types. These are different types of recognitions. If you want to give awards out, again, awards usually for milestone type things. But recognition, personal recognition, you can do that anytime, anywhere. It costs you how much to talk to somebody? Not much. Some people it's a lot more painful than others to talk to them. But anyway, you can really, from a monetary standpoint, it doesn't cost you much to do that. So as you're looking up and you're setting up a program, there's a whole different story about what's rewards and recognition. But try to reward people for behaviors or things that they can control. They can't always control the outcomes, whether or not they have a lost time injury. They can't always control whether or not somebody ran into something else. But they can control that they use their seatbelt every time, that they use their turn signals every time, that they did all those type of things. Reward people for their behaviors. Get back to the elements that they can control, and then it'll work out better for you. If you're waiting just to reward them for results, you're gonna probably have an issue down the road. Maybe not right now, but sooner or later. And the other thing, if you're just giving away rewards, just to give away rewards, it becomes an entitlement and it ends up not meaning much to people. Okay? You probably already know that, but that's just, again, I'm the safety geek, so I gotta throw that out. Okay, then feedback. Here's the next thing about feedback. Here are some things when delivering appreciative feedback. Again, that was when we're talking about how well they're doing. And then if you turn it over, what to do or not to do when you're giving constructive feedback. Just some tips. How to talk to people, what to try to do, what try not to do. So when you're giving feedback, and if you look at those, if you'd actually compare them, they're very similar front and back. The principles of giving feedback are very similar regardless of whether it is appreciative or constructive. Okay? Use I statements, tell them why what's going on, don't just say you did that wrong, give them, make sure that goes back to what right looks like. Everybody knows what good looks like, supposedly, and if they don't, you can educate them. So what do you think? You okay with that? This gives you some good tips. And again, I encourage you to use this at home. Not just at work, but at home. It'll make your life a lot easier. And it doesn't solve everything, but at least when our kids got done, we could walk through their room, at least we could see something. See the floor part of it, at least most of it. Okay? and all that. And then you can adjust things as you go. Comments or questions? Derogatory remarks. Okay. Remember the penny pitch exercise. I have some copies if you want a copy of the penny pitch exercise. We didn't just hand them out. But if you want a copy of that, maybe you want to try that or look at that, you're welcome to come up and grab a copy. And if you don't have enough, if there's not enough copies, you can just get a hold of either Tom or myself, and we'll go ahead and get you some more copies of that. Okay, so behavior-based safety versus traditional safety. That affects you, right? We'll start off. The question I ask you is, what is safety? People. It's about taking care of people. What's the behavior process? That's about communicating with people. It's really the feedback is the key, and how you do that, how you make a difference in people's lives. And I tell you what, you want to surprise your family, surprise your kids or your significant other. Go up and tell them they did a good job of something. Be very specific, and wow, watch what happens to their eyes. Happens in their life. Things change, okay? Because that's not what society does. Society is pretty negative out there. So you want to be the positive influence in your family's life, in your work area or whatever you're doing, in your church, whatever you're doing. Give people compliments, sincere compliments on something specific, and you'll see it'll change you. Okay? And as I leave you today, I want to thank you for putting up with me, and hopefully it's been at least somewhat enjoyable. Thank you for participation, for those who actually participated, and all of you who actually participated in giving feedback to people as you go through the process. So with that, I don't want to stand any more between you and your lunch. Please be safe and have a great day.